Okay, we're in Sanhedrin, pay test on base the Mishnah. Close to the top of the page. Like 6 lines down. Okay, the Mishnah is still talking about Zakin Mamre, the Zakin who rebelled against the Chachamim, and the punishment is that he gets killed. So the Mishnah says, the Zakin Mamre, the din is you can't kill him in the bezin of his own city. Pay testament base 89A1. You don't kill him in the bezin of a city, not even the bezin of Yavne. Okay, meaning the high court was still in Yerushalayim, but you can't kill him in Yavne, even though Yavne was one of the places where the Sanhedrin gathered. You bring him to the big bezin of 71 in Yerushalayim, and you guard him, meaning you put him like in prison until Yom Tiv, and you kill him on Yom Tiv. Yom Tiv time, you don't kill him on Yom Tiv. During the Yom Tiv. Shenama, because it says in the Pasuk, the whole nation should see, hear and see, and they won't commit the crime anymore. So in other words, the Torah says you have to do it when everybody's there. When is everybody there? On Yom Tiv. That's when all the Yidden are in Yerushalayim. So therefore you wait to kill them until the Yom Tiv, then that's Yom Pei before Sukkot, and during the Yom Tiv time is when you kill them. Divrei Rabbi Kiva, that's what Rabbi Kiva holds. Rabbi Yehuda says no. You don't delay the person's punishment. You kill him right away. Meaning there's a din in halacha very contrary to secular law. According to Torah law, you can't do what's called inay adin. Inay adin is to torture the guy. Meaning like this: once Bezdin Paskins he gets killed, he has to get killed the same day. There's no death row that you sit for 30 years until they finally kill you. The din is you have to kill the person right away. So the Yehuda argues on Rabbi Kiva. He says, how can you keep the person until Yom Tiv? Then you're ma'anis adin, you're torturing the guy, he's sitting there knowing he's dying. So therefore the Yehuda says, you kill him right away. The Pasuk says, everybody has to know about it, and if it's not Yom Tiv, not everybody knows about it. So he said what Bezdin does is, Bezdin send out messengers and writes letters to all places. This and this person was killed by Bezdin. So Rabbi Yehuda holds, how does everybody find out about it? Not by waiting until Yom Tiv, when everybody's there. The way you do it is by notifying the world that this guy was killed in Bezdin. Okay? So Rabbi Kiva says you wait until Yom Tiv. Rabbi Yehuda argues as far as when you wait. He also agrees to do it in Bezdin on Kodel, but you have to wait and do it right away. Okay, then it says like this. The Gemara says, the Braisa says, similar to what the Mishnah said, you don't kill him in the bezin of a city. You don't kill him in the bezin of Yavne. Same thing what the Mishnah said. You take him up, pay testament base. You take him up to the bezin in Yerushalayim. And you guard him until Yom Tiv. You kill him in Yom Tiv. So this is mamish a repetition of the Mishnah. That Rabbi Kiva's opinion is the Zakim Mamre you take to the big bezin in Yerushalayim. Yeah, you take him to the big pay testament out of the right after the top Mishnah.
Thank you.
You take him to the bezin in Yerushalayim. You wait until Yom Tiv when everybody's there, and that's when you kill him. Amalei Rabbi Yehuda Braisa continues. Amalei Rabbi Yehuda says, "V'chinemar yiru v'yiru." Does it say that people should see it and see it? In other words, Rabbi Kiva says everybody has to see the murder. I mean, the way Bezdin kills him. Everybody has to see the way Bezdin kills him. So Rabbi Yehuda says, it doesn't say yiru v'yiru, el yishmu v'yiru, meaning they should hear about it and fear. In other words, like this. According to Rabbi Kiva, everybody has to see it. So the pasuk should have said yiru, they should see it, v'yiro, and they'll fear. I mean, they won't do it again. So he said, it doesn't say yishmu, a yiru v'yiro, that they should see it. The pasuk says yishmu, they should hear about it, v'yiro, and they fear. That means they won't do it again. So therefore, what did Rabbi Yehuda hold? Lama ma'anin dina shulzeh. Why should you just torture the guy? Like we said, there's a thing, you have to kill the guy today. The Bezdin made the ruling that he's Chayav Misa, and therefore, by the way, Bezdin would make the ruling early in the morning, but Bezdin, capital punishment. They slept on it, like they say, they discussed it a whole night, and in the morning they came and they took the vote and they counted, and if the guy was Chayav Misa, they killed him that day. And it says, the case of Misa Neisa Miyadi, kill him right away. The case in the Shulchan B'Chomakim is playing in the Chayav Misa and Bezdin. This guy was Chayav Misa and Bezdin. So basically, what the Bryce accomplishes, adds to the Mishnah, is one simple thing. You have it? Pay test some Aleph.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing that the Bryce... Huh? Now we're almost midway down the page.
Before the white line? First white line?
Before the white, a little bit before the white lines. 5 lines before the white lines. Okay, so it says like this. So the only thing the Bryce adds is Rabbi Yehuda's reasoning. Rabbi Yehuda says you wait until Yom Tov to kill him and everybody should see and fear and not do it again, what the Karami committee. Rabbi Yehuda comes along and says in the Mishnah, no, you can't do Inu Yadin, you can't torture a guy, but you have to kill him right away, so therefore you kill him right away. The Torah says everybody has to know about it, so it doesn't say Yiru v'yiro, they'll see it and fear it. It says Yishmu v'yiro, they'll hear about it. So Rabbi Yehuda says very simple, you kill him right away. And the Bezdin sends out the letters to all over the place in Shulchan that this guy got killed. 4 types of people need to be publicized that they were killed in Bezdin. Okay, because 4 times the Torah says the expression that everybody should know about it. Who are the 4? Amesis, instigator for Avodah Zarah. Person instigates other Jews to worship Avodah Zarah, you kill him right away, you kill him. Ben Seder Omeda, right, the rebellious son. Zaki Mamre, what we're learning about here, the rebellious sage. And Adam Zayman, witnesses that lied and they testified that somebody killed somebody, and then the other witnesses say you were with us. So the din is you do to the Adam what they wanted to do to the guy. If they wanted to kill him, so then you killed Adam Zayman. So when Bezdin killed Adam Zayman, so everybody has to know about it. Everybody has to be aware of it. Why? So he says like this. B'chulu, in all the first 3, it says B'chol ha'am or B'chol Yisrael. Some people say all the nation or all the Eden have to see about it. Be'edim Zaymin, the Torah doesn't say ha'am or Kol Yisrael. What does the Torah say? Hanishonim. Those that remain shall fear and hear, meaning the loy kula ha'am sedusa. Why? Because not everybody is qualified to testify. Meaning like this. Not everybody is kosher to be an aid. Women are not kosher to be an aid. Relatives are not kosher to be an aid. There's a lot of people that are not kosher to be aid. So, what's the concept? The Ben Seder, the Meda, and all these things, that nobody should be a copycat of it. When Bezdin kills his guys, people will say, don't do it because you're playing with fire, you're going to get killed. But that only applies. So by all the other things, Avodah Zarah, Ben Seder, the Meda, it applies to everybody. Adam can only apply to people that are kosher to be witnesses. So therefore, the pasuk doesn't say Chol ha'am, it says Hanishonim Yishmu v'yiro. The leftover ones, meaning the ones that are capable of testifying, they're the ones that should be aware of this. Okay, then the Mishnah says like this. Next Mishnah. Okay, the first of the wide lines in Pei Tessim and Aleph. Mishnah says, Navi Sheker, now the Gemara is going to continue, who else gets chenek? Remember the Mishnah was discussing before those people that get the Misa chenek, strangulation. Right? So now the Mishnah is continue, who else gets chenek? So the Gemara says like this, Navi Sheker, a false prophet, okay, a false prophet, or mashul. Hamisnabe mashul leishama. And the Gemara defines, the Mishnah defines what is the definition of a false prophet. So it says, number one, misnabe mashul leishama. He says prophecy of what he was never told. He makes up a fake prophecy that Hashem told him. Or mashul leinemalei. Something not said to him. In other words, it could be said to another prophet. And this guy comes along and makes it as if it's his own prophecy. It's also Navi Sheker, even though the Nevuah is true because somebody else was told the prophecy, but the fact that...
Not to him.
Not to him. And then the din is Misa B'dei Adam. Okay, these two, or basically Navi Sheker, which is one of two things. Either he says a prophecy he was never told, or he says over a prophecy another Navi was told, it's Misa B'dei Adam, Bezin kills him. And it's Chenek, by the way. But one who hides his nevuah, meaning there's a din that a Navi, if he's told, it says in Chumash, if a Navi is told nevuah to say it, he has to say it. What happens if he doesn't say it? Or Hamavat al Divrei Navi, a one who discards the word of a Navi. The Navi is told him to do something, and he doesn't do it. Or Navi sha'avar al divrei atzmei, a Navi that transgressed his own prophecy. So this is Misa B'dei Shemayim. That Besdin doesn't kill him, he gets Misa B'dei Shemayim, Hashem kills him. Why? Because all these things, the Pasuk says, Anechi edrish me'imei. Hashem says, I will seek him out, meaning I'll punish him. What?
Eldad and Medad did the right thing.
How?
Eldad and Medad.
Eldad and Medad?
Yeah. They said.
Huh?
They said.
But the question is, it was only supposed to be 70.
Right.
What happened with Eldad and Medad?
Yeah, the two that were extra pet.
There is 6 per Shevet.
Right.
The problem is 6 times 12 is 72.
Right.
And Hashem told them to take 70. Okay? So they were out, Eldad and Medad. They weren't part of the 70. But they got Nevuah anyway.
Right.
And they said the Nevuah.
They said it.
Yeah. But that's why you didn't kill him.
Moshe Rabbeinu said, don't be...
According to many opinions, by the way, the Moshe Rabbeinu's half brothers.
Eldad and Medad?
Yeah.
Who? Aaron's kids?
Yeah. By Matan Torah, Amram Yocheved had to divorce. Because she was his aunt. Right?
Right.
Like it said, Beichel Mishpach Yosef, not Amram. Amram was from Jew. People, one Matan Torah was given, so there's a lot of forbidden relations that you weren't allowed to do, right? So you're not allowed to marry an aunt. An uncle can marry a niece. In fact, the Gemara says a mitzvah for an uncle to marry a niece, even though the Bida Chassid says you don't do it. Yeah? But a nephew with an aunt is mamish capital punishment.
But this is right after Matan Torah. How old could it be?
That's the question. First we'll discuss with them. But they say that, so by Matan Torah, Amram and Yocheved divorced.
They divorced because not everybody divorced, or they divorced?
No, they had to, because we're not everybody. They were allowed to stay married.
Relatives.
A nephew can't marry an aunt.
They can't marry, but once they're married.
No. A kohen can't marry a grusha. Yeah? But the Apidin Yadi Minik has a mitzvah, he has to divorce her. Can't say, okay, they're married already.
What about the children?
1 minute. So the pearl, there's different opinions. Amram remarried, Yocheved remarried. And therefore, El Dod means El Doid, May Doid. Because he married Yocheved Doidase. That's what that's came, Taisa brings it down. The Mephosh bring it down, the Medrash says it.
At that age, Yocheved, 130.
7.
Medad means.
No, which was 1/3, but
Amram named Medad.
Eldod to an
Aunt?
aunt and Midod.
But they weren't from Yocheved, even though they were not from his
That's what I'm
aunt.
saying. It depends which opinion it is. It is. Okay, so now it says like this. So a Navi Sheker, Bezdin kills him, right? A Navi Sheker has 2 definitions. Either he says a prophecy not given to him. I mean, Bechal, he makes up a prophecy, or a prophecy not given to him. That's Mitzvah B'Dei. Then the Mishnah continues and says that a guy that holds back Nevuah, right? He doesn't listen to another Navi, or he doesn't listen to himself. That's Mitzvah B'Dei Shemayim. Correct? That's another point. Then the Mishnah said like this. HaMisnaba B'Shem Avedis Kochovim. If a guy says prophecy in the name of idols, instead of Hashem. But amen, he says, Kach Amr Avedis Kochovim. This is what Avedis Kochovim, this Getchke told me. And he says, even if it's correct, Afilu Kivinis Halacha, even if the Nuvu is correct Halacha, L'tames Atame U'L'tayes Atar. He says correctly, but he says, the Baal Pa'or, so to speak, let's say, told me that this is Tameh and this is Tahor, even though it's right. Nevertheless, he gave Chenek. Okay? Or, Abal Eishesish. Again, what's Chenek? Remember, the other one's a Skila. But Eishesish is Chenek. And it says, Kivit Shenichnesu Rishus Baal Linisuin. Once the woman goes into the husband's domain to get married, even though he didn't live with her yet, but he went already into the husband's domain for marriage, so that's chenek. Okay, but what the Mishnah is saying, I would think that's only if she lived with the husband already, that's what makes her married. He says, no, once she enters the reshus of the husband after 12 months, remember, then they would take her to the husband. Once she goes into the domain of the husband, she leaves her father's house, she's considered Eishesish, and therefore the punishment is chenek. V'zemei bas kohen, and zem witnesses of a bas kohen. Okay, we'll see in a second what that is. Or ubayalo, one who lives with a bas kohen against halacha, then the punishment is skila. No, I'm sorry. No, this is chenek. I'm sorry. Normally a bas kohen, gets streifa. What is the term? Bas kohen kiseichel is nice. It's a via mechalel ba'esh kisarif. Yeah. So now, a bas kohen that committed adultery, instead of getting chenek, gets streifa. But what happened is there Adam Zaymamin that testified wrongly that she committed adultery. So what they wanted her to get was sreifa.
Right.
But the pearl, the Mishnah says here, they get chenek. Then they get killed, but not the same misa they wanted her to get killed. Or boyala, or a guy that lives with a bas kohen, let's see, she's a married woman or an arusa. Yeah? So she gets sreifa, but the man that lived with her gets chenek. It's a unique din of a bas kohen. No one's going to explain, how you learn that out. But bottom line is, bas kohen, only she gets sreifa. Yeah, the Adam Zayim are going to get chenek. The guy that lived with her is going to get chenek. Only she gets sreifa. Shekol ham, and the Mishnah says why. Shekol hamuzam, anytime there's Adam Zayim that testified wrongly against the guy that he's supposed to get misa, right? All of them, makdimim l'eisa misa. They get the misa they wanted the guy to get. The Moshe, they testified that was Mechal Shabbos, right? And they wanted to get skila, they're going to get skila. If they testified against the Naver to get sreifa, they're going to get sreifa. The only two exceptions to this rule is Zemim and Bas Kohen. Zemim and Bas Kohen. So even though they wanted her to get sreifa, but they're going to get chenek, or boyala, or a guy that lives with her is also going to get chenek.
What about the case of a woman who's engaged? Doesn't she also get sreifa?
You mean kedushin?
Kedushin.
No, skila.
She gets skila.
Skila.
And then what does he get?
Skila.
He doesn't get chenek.
No. Only if it's a bas kohen.
Oh.
And now we learned before in the Gemara, until she's married, the adultery, she had after kedushin, yeah, they get skila. Both of them get skila. After they're married, she gets chenek, he gets chenek. A normal case, right? After kedushin, She committed adultery with a guy, they both get skila. After Eishes Ish means that she entered the husband's domain already, they both get chenek. But if it's a bas kohen, then she's going to get sreifa, he's going to get chenek. Well, the second case is Bayala, the same thing, the guy that had committed adultery with a bas kohen, she gets sreifa and he gets chenek.
Like Yehuda said, take Tama and burn it?
Yeah, because Tamar is a bas kohen, Rashi says. Okay, so now the Gemara says like this. Tell Rabban learned. Shleisha misatzon. Now the Gemara is going back to what the Mishnah started off about Nevi'ah Sheker, right? So the Gemara said Nevi'ah Sheker is Misa B'dei Adam, and Kevish Yasnuvase and things like that. Then it's only Misa B'dei Shemai. So it says like this. Shleisha. There's 3 types of prophecy-related punishments. That misasem b'dei Adam, the Bezdin kills you. The Shleisha misasem b'dei Shemayim, and 3 of them Shemayim kills you. Okay, what are the 3? Hamisnaba mashloi al shama. Again, what the Mishnah said, right? He's prophesied a prophecy he was never told. Or mashloi nemaloi, or what wasn't spoken to him, even though it was said to another prophet. Or hamisnaba b'shem avedus kochavim, or a guy says prophecy in the name of idols. These 3 things, misasim b'dei Adam, Bezdin kills you. Okay? So again, what are the 3? He says a prophecy he never heard. He said a prophecy which was told to another Navi but not to him. Or he prophesizes in the name of Avodah Zarah. But what happens, he just doesn't say the prophecy. By the way, that's what Yena wanted to do. Hashem gave him a nevuah to go tell the king of Nineveh that, and he didn't want to. That was Kevish Yasnuvase, by the way. Or he disregards what a Navi told him to do, or Navi Sha'av al Divrei Atzmai, okay? Or a Navi it went against his own nevuah. So in all these cases, Misa B'dei Shemayim. Basically, the Mishnah said the same thing. But the Mishnah the Rabbi is elaborating. 3 of the cases, Misa B'dei Adam. 3 of the cases, Misa B'dei Shemayim. Okay?
B'dei Adam means Bet Din, right? B'dei Adam.
B'dei Adam means Bet. And B'dei Shemayim means Misa B'dei Shemayim. By the way, it's interesting. The second 3 are possible. Holding back your nevuah is really actionless.
Yeah, Beit Din would have known. How would Beit Din know to judge on it? That's why it's
It's possible the Bezdin would know. I mean, if they would know.
They would know the nevuah maybe?
That's why he's in the Hada Hashem, right?
Or also, you don't listen to a Navi. Navi tells you to do something, you don't listen. That's like no action. You can't get Misa B'dei Adam by no action. Unless if he disregards it, if a Navi says don't do something and he does it. But whatever, but there's still a difference between the... I mean, it's exactly the cost. In fact, Gemara doesn't say we know how many million. How do we know that these 3 are Misa B'dei Adam and these 3 are Misa B'dei Shemayim? Like, what's the source of it in Chumash? Okay, so the Gemara says, see, Taisus Stack over here says that Kevish Nuvas and Mount Taisus, he says, Eid in Bamaisa. Huh? Taisus says there's no action holding back from the board. But Taisus said what he did do, Taisus said they would beat him up until they would whip him until he died anyway. Let's see the Gemara. So the Gemara said, from where do we learn all these dinim that this gets Misa B'dei Adam, this gets Misa B'dei Shemayim? So it says like this. Amar Rav Yudam Rav, the Amar heard the pasuk says like this. Achanavi asher yazid l'daber davar b'shmi. The Navi, the pasuk says like this. A Navi that willfully right, doesn't say what is in my name, what it means, it says a Navi that will intentionally speak in my name. Now what does that mean? He says something in the name of Hashem that Hashem never told him. Or, the Pasuk says that I didn't command him. Tzivisi means him. But his friend they told it. So that's the second case, right? When he said over in Nevuah that somebody else was told, but he's the one saying it. How does he know? Very simple. They're probably friends. The Navi told him the Nevuah that he had from Hashem. And this guy goes and tells everybody the Nevuah. And and a guy who speaks in the name of other gods, obviously, so here you have the three cases. Intentionally speaking in my name, meaning I never told him. Means I didn't command him, but I commanded somebody else. Or so what does the pasuk say? Right? It says the Navi died. Stam Misa Ha'amuri B'Teira Stam Ein Alachedet. Like the Gemara learned before in the earlier Gemara Sanhedrin, the Gemara said that when it says Misa in the Torah, it means Chedek, strangulation. Okay? So therefore the Torah in that pasuk says clearly that if he speaks in my name something I never said, or something I never commanded him, or he speaks in the name of idols, what does the pasuk say? Umeisa Naviyahu. And Misa is Chanuk. So that's how you learn against Misa b'dei Adam. What's wrong?
Nevuah is not CVT, it's the Chalom or some kind of...
Yeah, but it's a commandment in the Cholim. Hashem spoke to
How
him.
can you be sure that there is a command?
No, what do you think? By the way, it says... So this reason. It doesn't mean that the Navi hears words.
Right.
Is a vision that comes out in these words.
Like Hashem was telling the Aaron and Miriam.
Yeah. It's like
The command, you want to make sure you're getting the command. Is
a
the
Navi is a mitzvah from, it's a temporary mitzvah. A Navi, when he gets Nevuah, has a mitzvah to say it. Right? It's a mitzvah. The reason why it's not counted in 613 mitzvahs is because the Rambam says only mitzvahs for all generations are counted. A temporary mitzvah, and for that particular time, it's not counted in 613
And
mitzvahs.
king's mitzvah.
No, that's for all time. Anytime there's a king, there's a mitzvah.
Well,
Mashiach comes, it's going to be a mitzvah.
Well,
But if Hashem told Nevuah to a Navi, he has a mitzvah to tell it, to say it. It's a mitzvah to say it. So Hashem commanded him to say it. And this guy, but the Torah didn't say Shalei Tzivisi. Tzivisi means I didn't command him, which means I commanded somebody else, and he says it. Which is interesting. What's the big deal? It's reality. Hashem did say the Nevuah. But the problem is, only the Navi that got the Nevuah has the right to say it, nobody else. Okay, then the second three, Hakevish is Nevuah, a guy that holds back his Nevuah. Or Mevatel Divrei Navi, he doesn't, he disregards what the Navi told him. Or Navi Shavar al Divrei Atzmei, or Navi that disregards the prophecy that Hashem told him himself. Misasa Midei Shemayim. That's Misa Midei Shemayim. Why? Because you're selling this. V'yish actually Yishma, the pasuk says a man that won't listen to the Navi, right? Karibei lo yashmiya. Don't read it. Lo yishma. Okay, the pasuk says like this. V'yish actually lo yishama. He didn't hear what I spoke, right? So the Gemara says, don't read it yishama, heard, passive, but yishama made it heard, active. Yishma means passive, a Navi that didn't hear. Yishama means, and that's the way you read it, right? Yishama means a Navi who didn't make heard the prophecy I told him. That means he's holding back his Nevuah. Instead of saying it, he's holding it back. and you read it, lo yishama al devari, also that he's not listening to my words, meaning he's disregarding what either Hashem told him or to another Navi. So then it's Siv, then the Pasuk says, Onechi edrish me'imei. What does it mean? B'dei Shemayim. Okay? Now, the Gemara is going to give examples of this, by the way. Of guys that Kavish and Wafsay said Nebuahs that were false, or said Nebuahs that Hashem told other Nevi'im. Okay, but the bottom line so far is 3 Nevi'im, right, get killed b'dei Adam, 3 Nevi'im get killed b'dei Shemayim. A guy that makes up a false prophecy, or a prophecy that somebody else was told, right, or he says in the name of idols, Misa b'dei Adam, Bezin kills him. Holds back Nebuah, doesn't keep his Nebuah, doesn't keep somebody else's Nebuah that Hashem told him he has to do, so then it's Misa b'dei Shemayim. Now the Gemara says, okay, what is examples of this? He says, Tzidkiyahu ben Kenana. This guy Tzidkiyahu ben Kenana, he said a prophecy that Hashem didn't tell him. He made up a prophecy. It says in the Pasuk like this, Vayasvei Tzidkiyahu ben Kenana, Tzidkiyahu ben Kenana made Karni Barzo, horns of iron. I'll explain in a second the story. And he said, this is what Hashem told me. When you gore the Armenians until they are eradicated. Okay, meaning like this. It says, let me tell you the story down here. Yosef, okay, was the righteous king of Yehuda. He entered an alliance with Achav, the wicked king of Israel. Okay? Achav, yeah, was the king of, when the kingdom split between Malchi Yehuda and Malchi Yisrael. So Yeshafat was Malchi Yehuda, was a big tzaddik. Achav was Malchi Yisrael, who were Rishoy. He made a treaty with him, okay? So Achav committed Yeshafat to join him in attacking Aram. Yeah, this is what happened. Achav wanted to attack the nation of Aram. And he convinced Yeshafat to come and help him. And Yeshafat said to him, because he told him, I have a whole bunch of prophets that told me to do it. They had false prophets, right? So Yeshafat said to him, a prophet of Hashem should first be consulted. So Achav gathered 400 prophets. All of them told him to do it. So Tzidkiyahu ben Kenana, one of these prophets, forged horns of iron and told Achav and Yeshafat in the name of Hashem that these horns would be succeed in goring Ammon into extinction. Okay? So he said, this is a prophet from Hashem that, okay. So Yeshafat said, no, I want one more prophet from Hashem. Okay? So much against his will, Achav produced Michael ben Yimla, who foretold Achav's death in the battle. Okay? And Michael's prophecy became true. Okay, but this guy, Tzidkiyahu ben Kenana, right, said a prophecy that he said God told him to do, and it's not true. He said, God told me to make these iron horns, and that's going to kill Aram into the extinction. And that wasn't true, because Hashem never told him to.
The Michael was a real Navi?
Yeah.
So, the person has to be a Navi before he gets the sentence? What if the average person says, add a Nebuah?
No, you have to be a Navi. Well, but the Nevi'ah Baal, there were also guys there. Eliyahu Navi was against 400 Nevi'ah Baal. All those kings had terrible Nevi'ah. This is the same, I don't know, before or after I know the history over there. But there were Nevi'ah Baal. There were a lot of prophets. False prophets.
False prophets. That means they're not prophets.
Huh?
So they're not prophets.
Yeah, but they say prophecy. They say as prophecy. So now the Gemara asks this: what should a Tzidkiyahu done? Because Ruach Nevais at Isay, the spirit of Nevais, misled him. Okay? Meaning, a spirit of prophecy did come to Tzidkiyahu ben Kenano, was sent from heaven bearing a false message designed to lure Achav to his death. Navis was the man who owned a vineyard adjacent to royal estate, and Achav wanted it. When Navis refused to sell it, Achav had Navis falsely convicted and executed him. In other words, like this. What happened was like this. Achav was this bad king, right? He wanted what's his name? Navis had a vineyard. Achav wanted it.
Jezebel and
Yeah, Achav was Isabel was his wife, right? She was the real bad one, by the way. Now, Navis had a vineyard. Achav wanted it. So what did he do? He got him killed. He falsely accused him of something, killed him, and then he took over his property. Okay, so my question was, because it says like this, to see, V'yemer Hashem, okay. Now Hashem wanted Achav to go to war, because then he'd get killed. Like this Navi Mechayo said, right? That he's going to die in war. So Hashem wanted to lure Achav into war. Okay? So it says like this, V'yem Hashem, mi yefates Achav, who will entice Achav, v'yal v'yipul b'Ramas Gilad, that he should go to war and get killed in Ramas Gilad. V'yetze Ruach, and the spirit came, listen to this, a spirit came, this is all psukim in whatever. The spirit came, v'yamed l'fnei Hashem, and said, Ani afatenu. Okay, I will convince him. Okay, Gemara's question is, Tzidkiyahu was a setup by Hashem. So why should he get killed for saying the prophet, for making a false prophecy? Okay, so Gemara's telling you the story. Okay, Hashem said, who's going to convince Achav to go to war? So the spirit comes and said, I'll do it. But Yemen, he said, Hashem said to the spirit, okay, Tefata, you will do it, V'gam tuchol, and you'll be successful. Say la'asei, go. And convince Achav to go to war. What happened? So then the pasuk says, the spirit of Navis induced the spirit of false prophecy that deceived Tzidkiyahu into prophesying in order to get Achav to go to war. What made Achav go to war? Tzidkiyahu's false prophecy. Right?
But Tzidkiyahu was a king himself.
No. He was a false prophet. Listen, not Tzidkiyahu.
This is a different
A different guy. This is not that Tzidkiyahu. This is Tzidkiyahu. He was a great king. This guy was a Russian. So the question is, why was Tzidkiyahu blamed for the prophecy? The spirit made him do it. Because the spirit, in other words, Hashem wanted Achav to go to war, right? So the evil spirit said, okay, I'll do it. So how did he do it? He put himself into Tzidkiyahu and got him to make those horns, that Achav should be convinced that he's going to be successful. So the Gemara says, why did Tzidkiyahu punish for that? Amar Yehuda might say, same chitzasi. Hashem didn't tell him, go and do it to the evil spirit. He said, leave my mechitza. Leave my domain of Kedusha. What is the spirit that the Torah is speaking about? It refers to the spirit of Novice, the Israelite. Who is that? Okay. Novice, whose life was cut short, whose soul was thereby prematurely returned to the spirit state, through the story of Achav and Isabel and this whole story.
Is this doing first Binyamin or second?
Second. No, first.
There was
First. What are you talking about? First or first?
there was not much prophecy in the second.
Not too much. Now it's given to fools and kids. That's what it says.
And dogs.
Huh?
And dogs, right?
Dogs?
Everything, yeah.
Right?
Babies, fools, and dogs.
Full. I don't know.
It's downplaying it maybe.
There's a lot of rich tzaddikim.
Yeah, that's not Nevuah. That's Ruach HaKodesh and Basco. There's different levels. The Gemara says in Satan, you have the Nevuah, and then you have Basco, and then you have Ruach HaKodesh. But anyway, so the Gemara's question is, okay, why was Sidkiel punished if the evil spirit made him do it? So he says, okay, so the Gemara answers, Hava le'lamedek to Rabbi Yitzchak. He should have learned what Rabbi Yitzchak said. Dam Rabbi Yitzchak says like, Dam Rabbi Yitzchak, signal echad elu l'kamen neviim, another one prophetic signal, oh, this is what it is. Hashem gives a Navi a signal, bein shnei neviim is not a signal echad. In other words, Navis are giving like a sign, and the way they verbalize it, no two Nevi'im say the same prophecy. Okay? Like he says, this is what I was talking about. Prophecy does not generally consist of formal statements. When a Navi gets Nevuah, it's not Hashem talking to himself. It's a signal, okay? And then every Navi says it in a different way. Okay, so you should realize it's not a good Nevuah. Okay.